Carry out. To conduct or perform a medical procedure, experiment, or study. Synonym for carry out. Conduct, execute, perform, undertake, implement, fulfill. The surgeon was scheduled to carry out a complex heart bypass surgery the following morning. Researchers carried out a study to investigate the long-term effects of the new medication on patients with diabetes. The researchers carried out a clinical trial to test the effectiveness of the new drug. Rule out. To eliminate or exclude a possibility or hypothesis from consideration. Synonym for rule out. Exclude, eliminate, dismiss, disregard, remove from consideration, invalidate. The specialist ruled out the possibility of food allergies as the cause of the patient's symptoms. After conducting several tests, the doctor was able to rule out any serious underlying medical conditions. The doctor ruled out pneumonia after conducting chest X-rays. Draw up. To create or prepare a plan, report, or document, often in the context of medical research. Synonym for draw up. Create, prepare, draft, formulate, compose, write up. The scientists drew up a detailed protocol for the experiment. The committee drew up a report summarizing the findings of the study on the effectiveness of the vaccine. The research team drew up a detailed plan for the clinical trial, outlining the inclusion and exclusion criteria. Phase in. To introduce or implement something gradually or in stages. Synonym for phase in. Introduce gradually, implement in stages, roll out, gradually introduce, bring in, ease in. The government announced plans to phase in the new healthcare reforms gradually to allow for adjustments and feedback from stakeholders. The hospital phased in the new electronic medical record system over several months. The hospital decided to phase in the new electronic medical record system over the next 6 months to minimize disruption to patient care. Bring in. To introduce or involve someone or something new, often in the context of medical treatment or technology. Synonym for bring in. Introduce, incorporate, integrate, implement, add, include. The clinic brought in state-of-the-art equipment to improve the accuracy of diagnostic tests. The hospital brought in specialists from abroad to perform the surgery. The hospital decided to bring in a team of specialists to assist with the diagnosis and treatment of rare diseases. Set up. To establish or arrange something, such as a laboratory or research project. Synonym for set up. Establish, arrange, organize, initiate, form, put in place. The research team set up a laboratory to conduct experiments on the effects of different medications on cancer cells. The university set up a new department dedicated to researching innovative treatments for neurodegenerative diseases. The university set up a new research center dedicated to medical science. Fill out. To complete a form or document with required information, often used in medical contexts. Synonym for fill out. Complete, fill in, populate, supply, answer, provide. Patients were asked to fill out a medical history form before seeing the doctor. Participants were asked to fill out a questionnaire to provide feedback on their experience with the new treatment. Patients are required to fill out a medical history form before their first appointment with the doctor. Follow up. To monitor or check on the progress of a patient or study participant over time. Synonym for follow up. Monitor, check up on, pursue, track, review, continue. Researchers conducted follow-up interviews with study participants 6 months after the intervention to assess long-term outcomes. The doctor scheduled a follow-up appointment to monitor the patient's progress after starting the new medication. The doctor followed up with the patient 2 weeks after starting the medication. Phase out. To gradually reduce or eliminate something over time. Synonym for phase out. Eliminate gradually, reduce over time, withdraw, wind down, scale down, gradually remove. The hospital decided to phase out the use of outdated medical equipment and replace it with newer models. The government announced plans to phase out the production and sale of single-use plastics to reduce environmental pollution. The government decided to phase out the use of asbestos in medical equipment due to health concerns. Zoom in. To focus on a specific aspect or detail, often used in medical imaging or analysis. Synonym for zoom in. Focus on, zero in on, magnify, enlarge, close in, home in on. The radiologist decided to zoom in on the suspicious area of the X-ray to get a closer look at the anomaly. The MRI scan zoomed in on the brain to detect abnormalities. During the analysis, the researchers used advanced imaging techniques to zoom in on the cellular level to study the effects of the drug. Build on. To develop or expand upon existing knowledge or research findings. Synonym for build on. Expand, develop, extend, elaborate, enhance, strengthen. The new study builds on previous research by exploring the long-term effects of the treatment on cancer patients. Researchers aim to build on the current understanding of genetics to develop more targeted therapies for rare diseases. The researchers built on previous studies to investigate new treatment options. Zero in on. To focus or concentrate on a specific target or objective. Synonym for zero in on. Focus on, target, concentrate on, home in on, zone in on, lock onto. The research team decided to zero in on a specific gene mutation that could be responsible for the development of the disease. After reviewing the patient's symptoms, the doctor was able to zero in on the likely diagnosis of a rare autoimmune disorder. The scientists zeroed in on the genetic mutation responsible for the disease. Step up. To increase or intensify efforts or actions in a positive trend. Synonym for step up. Increase, intensify, boost, raise, heighten, escalate. In response to the increasing number of cases, the hospital decided to step up its efforts to ensure adequate staffing and resources. The hospital stepped up its efforts to prevent the spread of infectious diseases. The government announced plans to step up vaccination efforts in rural areas to curb the spread of infectious diseases. Take in. To absorb or comprehend information or data, often used in the context of medical education. Synonym for take in. Absorb, comprehend, understand, grasp, digest, learn. Medical students took in the complex anatomy of the human body. Medical students need time to take in the vast amount of information presented during their training. It takes time for patients to take in the news of a serious diagnosis and understand its implications. Lay out. To present or explain something clearly and in detail, often used in medical research or education. Synonym for lay out. Present, explain, illustrate, detail, describe, outline. The researcher laid out the findings of the study in a detailed report, highlighting key conclusions and implications for future research. The physician laid out the treatment plan for the patient, explaining each step and potential side effects. The professor laid out the principles of medical ethics in the lecture. Bear out. To confirm or support something, often used in the context of research findings. Synonym for bear out. Confirm, support, verify, substantiate, validate, corroborate. The data collected from the study bear out the importance of early intervention in preventing disease progression. The experimental results bear out the hypothesis proposed by the researchers, providing strong support for their theory. The clinical trial results bore out the effectiveness of the new treatment. Bring about. To cause or bring about a change or result, often used in the context of medical interventions. Synonym for bring about. Cause, generate, produce, induce, affect, instigate. Advances in medical technology have brought about significant improvements in patient care and outcomes. The vaccine brought about a significant reduction in disease incidence. The new medication has the potential to bring about a paradigm shift in the treatment of chronic diseases. Carve out. To establish or create something distinct or separate, often in the context of medical specialization. Synonym for carve out. Establish, create, form, develop, forge, construct. The specialist decided to carve out a niche practice focusing solely on pediatric neurology. The hospital carved out a niche for itself as a center for pediatric care. The Research Institute carved out a dedicated department for studying infectious diseases in response to global health concerns. Sort out. To resolve or clarify a problem or issue, often used in medical diagnosis or treatment. Synonym for sort out. Resolve, clarify, address, fix, solve, untangle. The doctor sorted out the patient's medication list to avoid interactions. It took several consultations to sort out the conflicting opinions among specialists regarding the diagnosis of the rare condition. The medical team worked tirelessly to sort out the complex medical history of the patient to determine the best course of treatment. Scale up. To increase the size, scope, or intensity of something, often in the context of medical interventions or research. Synonym for scale up, expand, increase, amplify, augment, enhance, boost. In response to the growing healthcare needs of the population, the government aims to scale up investment in healthcare infrastructure. The pharmaceutical companies scaled up production of the vaccine to meet global demand. The pharmaceutical company plans to scale up production of the vaccine to meet the increasing demand worldwide. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.